War. An intense battle has broken out on the streets. We're joined by war correspondent Nathan Wissamore on the front lines. Nathan, what's going on out there?
Things are really heating up out here, Gabe. One side put up a billboard.
Corporate battles. They're pretty great. Back in the olden days, people used to sit on the rooftops with snacks and watch the battles from a town over. This isn't as interesting as that, but less people die, so it's a lateral move, really.
For the last 5 years, Utah's been the center of a war between Crumbl and Chip. They both sell expensive, larger-than-average cookies that are sometimes creative. But to be honest, it hasn't really been raging for quite some time now.
You might have heard of Crumbl if you live outside of Utah, and that's because they won. Chip is still open, but they haven't expanded much. The cookie war was over. Until now.
Two of the new players in the cookie world, Crave and Dirty Dough, are getting to be on the same level as Chip. Now this has made Crumbl displeased. So displeased, in fact, that they filed a lawsuit against both of them.
They claim that Crave and Dirty Dough have logos, packaging, and branding that's too similar to their own. You can have a look and decide for yourself, but this begs a separate question. How similar are the cookies? To find out, we're splitting up and going to each of the cookie shops.
Well, here we are, at the cookies of the modern era, Crumbl. Franchise at its finest. See, their cookies are thick and their frosting is as thick. Is it too much? Maybe. You can always take more off.
You did it through the app?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That way I get my points.
Nice. Great. I'll have that on the menu.
Because all modern businesses give out points. It's like a 10% off all the time. Which really doesn't matter when the profit margins on cookies is probably about 400%. Now, as with all corporations, they rhyme with cooperation because they work with other corporations to add things to their products that smaller businesses can't, such as on-brand gummy sharks. Historically, they've also had Oreo, Twix, name other sweet thing,
Muddy
it's probably
Buddies.
Muddy Buddies. See, when you're a big brand name, you can get other big brand names, which just leads to monopolization, which means money.
You really can't go wrong with salted caramel.
The baby blue, the thick cookie, the solidity of it all. This is how you make a large cookie that just blesses the palate.
You know, my cousin actually works at the Crumbl up in Draper. She's having a great time.
It's just, look at that. That chocolate chip. Oh, yes.
So, Crave here is very new on the scene. They don't even have any Utah County locations open yet. So I had to get a friend who works in Salt Lake to get them for me because I don't like driving very far. Oh, it's very melty. It's very gooey. I hate to say that this kind of reminds me of dog poop, but I have to say it because it's a review. That's really good. Ooh, there's some chocolate on the inside. It does have some insides. Well, it's a chocolate chip cookie for sure. I think it's kind of like a good blend of Chip and Crumbl, where Chip tastes like diabetes. It's just so thick and stuff, but Crumbl's cookies, they're actually not this big, and they're more known for their frosting ones, so they're not as, I don't think they're as quality with the chocolate chip ones. I don't know, I think it's impressive that they came in with these like big guys swinging, and then Dirty Dough has their whole being dirty thing, and these guys are just kind of like go in pretty classic, pretty basic. You crave these cookies, you're gonna eat them. And I feel like it's kind of like an underdog situation, and I want to support this expansion of the market. If you want variation to feel meaningful, you need classics to base it off of. And I crave a classic.
So right off the bat, their color scheme is way better than Crumbl's. It's very trendy, and I like it better than the pastel pink.
I like that the word dirty is accompanied by a bite being out of the cookie. It's like, we're dangerous and we mean business.
I think the dirty has more so to do with the fact that it oozes. So, yeah, do you see like how chunks of cookie dough? Like, look at those. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Because their
Eternal salvation.
cookies are filled with gospel. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my gosh. It even has a watermark.
I honestly think they're more attractive.
The filling. I feel like you need utensils to eat this, which isn't a bad thing, because that's gonna slow you down. Whereas like with Crumbl, you can just like straight up eat it. But then you eat it so quickly that you don't register the sweetness and the richness until you're done, and then you feel sick as a dog.
I feel like I found a dead animal in the wilderness. And I'm just nibbling at it.
My hands are so dicky.
You just said it. It's such like an infantile tone. With the S in
It's so sticky. Like, it was good, but I think they need to give out wet wipes. That's my one note. Okay, this is one thing that I do love. When you eat with your hands, things that you wouldn't normally eat with your hands in Western culture, something takes over and it actually feels really, really good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like digging into it.
When the dog wins the hunt, he thinks not how his fur shall be matted red with the coming light of the day. He thinks only of how his belly shall be full in the night.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the BTS. It's got chocolate and then caramel and toffee and all sorts of nut things, I believe. And then I also got this day-old original chocolate chip cookie. And they definitely get points for that. I don't believe any of the other shops have discounted day-old cookies on display. It's the original. It was the one that opened first. There was no cookie war until Crumbl opened the year later. The only reason that they're beating Chip is not because their flavors are substantially more original or their cookies are noticeably bigger or better, which is not to say they aren't good, even if they aren't my cup of tea. They're winning because of packaging and social media. Look at this. This is classy. It's simple, but it's not pink. And frankly, that might be a problem with Chip as a whole. The reason we're at a park right now is not because it's far away like Crave, but because they wouldn't let us film in the store. And social media exposure is a major part of any business, especially one like this that's half product and half experience. Experiential businesses live and die by social media these days. And Chip just doesn't know how to play the social media game as well as their competitors, and that's why they're losing. Which is a shame because their product is as good, or in my opinion better, than their competitors. Okay, what were the shops and the cookies like?
So, Dirty Dough, if we're looking at who's copying who, Dirty Dough is copying the least because they have all the filled cookies.
Well, I mean, Crave has a lot of filled cookies as well.
To be honest, filled
Okay.
cookies is probably a weakness because if you're looking for people to be able to take pictures of, post, and further the online presence of the cookies, you want the filling to be attractive.
A lot of the people want to take pictures of them having like taken a bite and they're like, ooh, look at that.
Well, like, it's also about the experience of eating it, and every time you eat Crumbl, you get like half what, like you get like 2 bites in, and you're like, I already regret this because it's so rich. It's not even fully baked. I don't know where they get off like just selling not baked cookies.
Yeah,
They're all
who
raw
wants a
in the
fully
middle.
baked cookie?
Really not.
Taste is what's important.
No, because you already paid for it once you taste it. The only thing that gets you to pay for it is the look.
I say we support Crave. They're the new guys to the block.
Oh,
They gotta
and
support
Dirty Dough,
them.
they're new too.
Yeah, but I mean, Crave is the one I tried.
Okay, but Dirty Dough's the one that I tried. I think that we
Chip
can both
is the
agree.
one that I tried.
Okay, so we can just agree that it's just not Crumbl.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everything
not
except
Crumbl.
Crumbl.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is slander. Crumbl is clearly one for reasons.
Yes, those reasons being franchising and clever marketing
No,
strategy.
what it comes down to is that Crumbl has made a critical error in starting this stupid stuff because all they've done is make themselves look like jerks.
Yeah, and that makes you look like a jerk.
Just because I enjoy a good cookie does not make me a bad person, you
slimy waste of human flesh.
If only you enjoyed a good cookie.
Now I am mad at you and I crave violence! Well, you're gonna crumble under the pressure.
We're gonna beat you so hard, you'll forget this week's 5 flavors.
Exactly.
We're gonna have a proper fight. We should probably do it like in front of people and witnesses and things so that everybody can witness.
We shall meet on the field of battle.
Very well, we accept.
Wait, actually, if we're doing it kind of as a back and forth here, that you guys have an extra person. To be actually 2 extra people once Nathan finishes washing his hands.
Will these hands never be clean? Yeah, that's fine. I could probably get Josh the car guy to fight for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Crumbl's gross! And it's not good for you! And the packaging is tacky and cheap!
Capitalism! America! Monopoly! Patents! We will die before we let these things fall!
This will not stand, ye oppressors.
I demand violence!
Let's go!
Wait.
Ronald Reagan?
Please, lay down your arms, my young fellow Americans.
But Mr. President, it's a cookie war!
But it doesn't have to be your cookie war, Elena.
You know my name?
Of course, my child. Look at yourselves. Friend against friend, brother against brother. Over some cookies. You should be celebrating, not fighting, because you live in a free nation where you can choose whichever overpriced cookie you want. Would you be the generation that ends freedom by imposing your chosen cookie on your neighbor?
What about the lawsuit?
Well, sometime soon an impartial jury will decide whether or not Crumbl is right, and you may or may not like the outcome. But until then, you can do business with whatever cookie company you think deserves it. And that's what the free market is all about, Charlie Brown.
Thank you. Thank you, President Reagan.
You're welcome. Love you. Bye now.
Ronald. Bye.
Well, I think there's only one way to fix this. Hey, thanks for watching. If you own a cookie shop and you want us to do some promotions for you, then we can, as long as you're not Crumbl, which is a bridge we pretty well burned today. Also, big thanks to that group of people we found at Rock Canyon Park who joined our little fight scene. What a cool you. Subscribe.